I'm Bakus from the Horny Heralds, and I'm gonna talk a bit about contracting. It's used for many reasons. Some people will use it for scamming, which you see in Jita, making some fake contracts or contracts with some ridiculous tricks concerning that you will give them something back in return, and that's usually not the value it's worth, but way over it. But we're not gonna talk about scamming, so that's another part. We're gonna talk about regular contracting. You can do that within your corporation, with your alliance, and externally, of course. Now, one thing to focus on is risk. Expensive cargo amounts can be getting very pricey and dangerous to transport. Now, to mitigate some of these things, we can use contracting. First of all, you can basically use a contract to your corp members or your alliance, either of providing them with goods and with receiving a payment or items in exchange, or just the money itself, or just giving something over to someone that you move for him and he is not in range, so he can accept it back. There's also a lot in trafficking for your alliance. You require minerals or something like that, and you offer a certain amount of money for it. You can make that contract available to your alliance or corporation, and people can check out the contract and see that there's some requests, and they can fulfill that contract if they have the materials. This can also be very handy to keep people at work. Now, the thing where I really do this for is transporting expensive goods. Yes, I have my own freighter with an alt, and I can transport goods very nicely. But what I see on most freighters that get ganked in HiSec, you see them over 2-3 billion ISK worth of cargo. Well, sometimes it's a bit annoying because some items don't really take much space but are more expensive, so they come at risk. You can run them down in a covert ops or a shuttle or a cloaked ship. Still, you always have that risk. Now, you spend a lot of money on an item or several items, you have invested in it. If you move it yourself and you get ganked, you lose more than that, because you lose another asset and all that stuff that you basically acquired, and you lose that money and you will never see a dime. How to mitigate that is to use contracts. Public contracting, some people are afraid of to use it because they think people will steal their stuff. For example, I have a few blueprints here. They are researched and altogether they're quite valuable. They show you the normal market prices, but they are more valuable because they are researched. So what are we going to do? We're going to contract them publicly. And one thing is, for example, one of my corp members bought a Revelation blueprint which was quite high research and is quite valuable. So I'm going to create a courier contract for these items. As you can see, a courier contract, simple, it's public, nothing else, and press next. If you want to add other items, you can do that, but if you already have selected the item here, as you see, it's selected, you don't have to do that. Go next. First thing, your location. As you see, I have a hotkey here, but normally you try to find the station by typing in the system, you do search, you get a pop-up menu, and from there you can choose stations. Now, first things first, one of the most important things you can do is your collateral. In general, I advise to do 20% to 50%, and in some cases even double the collateral of the value of the goods that you give in this contract. As this was an expensive blueprint, I'm gonna put it up about a billion ISK higher because this is just too expensive to just double. As you can see, I put up a 6.5 billion collateral, and that's basically because it's about 4 or 5 billion in worth. So The reward should be pretty good because people are risking a lot of money, so you should reward them pretty well. A lot of contracts are pretty cheap, and this is just an high-sec run, although my autopilot settings are there. As you can see, it's 21 jumps through high-sec for a safe run, so pilot settings will affect that. I will reward it with 100 million ISK because this is an expensive cargo, it's important, and I want to basically have it delivered fast, and people that see that those things will basically run with that cargo like hell. I've put the expiration of the contract on 2 weeks and 3 days to complete. As you can see, they will earn 4.7 million ISK per jump, and that is outrageously. Normal, they will get about 500,000 to 1 million per jump, but this one is special. And I want it delivered fast, and this probably helps it. I press the OK. I double check all the information, location from where it goes to the location where it has to go, the collateral, the reward, how many days to complete it once it's accepted. If it all looks great and the items are correct, you'll basically finish. And there's the contract. It's finished. And that's basically it. So if you have more questions about contracting, you can always contact me in game. And guys, I waited 5 minutes and that contract has already been accepted.